the eve of 900 youngsters participating in the 11th annual D-backs Intertribal Youth Baseball Invitational, being presented by Gila River Casinos and the Diamondbacks Foundation. Good stuff. And now for Freddie Gonzalez, he has, I'm sure, good stuff planned in his lineup. As you can see, the speed at the top with former Diamondback Bonifacio. Then it's Ermita and All-Star Hanley Ramirez. Jorge Cantu, Dan Uggla, Cody Ross. It's Ronnie Paulino, slugger Brett Carroll, who homered a key homer early in this series. Big, tall, hard thrower Josh Johnson. This guy's not a hard thrower, but what he is this year is having the best year of his career, especially Mark Grace, when you look at that 3.13 ERA.
That's exactly right. You do not have to be a hard thrower out there to be a good pitcher. Doug Davis proves that day in and day out. A guy that rarely throws over 85 miles an hour, but yet he still gets plenty of swings and misses. So if you can locate all you kids out there, you can pitch.
On the final game of the first half, we are underway, and that one is a strike over the outside corner to Emilio Bonifacio. 258, a homer, 21 batted in, an on base of 303. When he gets on, he goes. He has 18 stolen bases. And he's in the hole, 0-2.
There's the swing and miss at the 82-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the cut fastball from Doug Davis.
We have a fun graphic we will share with you here in a bit about both of these pitchers and their velocities. We've already touched on it a little bit. 33-year-old left-hander, born in Sacramento, California, is Davis. Changeup, and he bounced it in there.
Davis trying probably to just get a feel for the changeup, find that release point. Hadn't found it yet. Bounced it.
No, he hasn't found it yet. About a tenth of his pitches are that changeup, so doesn't throw too many. That's the pitch. Cut fastball down and in wicked. That looked like a slider. Let's take a look at the defense working behind him. Parra, Young, Upton, Reynolds, Drew Lopez, and Tracy with Miguel Montero catching. And it was Mark Reynolds last night. Not as much with his bat, but with his glove, Mark Grace.
Made 3 plays last night that really stand out for me. This is a great play with all his momentum across the diamond right on the button. And then that one as well. That's not a replay. That's a different play to get Bonifacio, quite possibly the fastest player in baseball.
1-0 the count to Jeremy Ermita.
There's lots of ways to help the ball club win, even if you're not hitting. Mark Reynolds proved that last night.
One ball and 1 strike. 9 home runs, 32 batted in. Slugging just .389 on the year, Jeremy Ermita. First winning homestand for the Diamondbacks since April 20th through the 29th. Changed up on him there, lefty on lefty.
Found the release point on that one. That was a beautiful changeup, and very rarely do you see Doug throw his changeup to left-handers. Good pitch.
19th start of the year, just 4 wins, but an ERA of 3.13 for Doug. That fastball popped up, going back as Reynolds, and also Stephen Drew. It's the Diamondbacks shortstop there to make the play for the out. I tell you, you throw a changeup like that away to a lefty, surprise him. Then the fastball looks like it's 97 miles an hour.
That's exactly right. Here's the changeup, and you can see Ermita way out in front. Then right back the fastball, and it right in on the hands. Very tardy with the swing. That's classic pitching right there. That's how you get hitters out. Change speeds, but yet keep it in the strike zone. Keep them off balance and keep them guessing.
So now Doug faces Hanley Ramirez. The All-Star looked like he broke out his All-Star shoes. Make sure they fit just right. We haven't seen that look in this series. And why not?
Going to have to take a peek at those. Zapatos.
Those are All-Star shoes, aren't they?
I'm sure we'll see those in St. Louis. Oh, baby.
That's great.
You know who would look good in those? I'll bet you would have in his playing days. Matt Williams. He would have probably liked, he would have really liked wearing those, I think. Those are very much like what Matt Williams would have worn. Those fancy shoes and that really grimy helmet.
2-0 the count. Pitch just off the plate. 3-0 the count. Ramirez in his career against Doug Davis. 2 for 11 with a double. Digs those shoes in. They're getting their first feel of dirt. That's why he wore them today. You can't put on brand new shoes and not have a feel for them. Get blisters everywhere. There's his strike.
You can't get blisters in the All-Star game. You got to break them in nicely. Such a big kid, too, and a baby face. Only his face shows his age, because this is one large young man.
Got the initials on there, the 3-1. A curveball rolls it up the line and it hugs the line. Good pitch on 3-1. He wasn't looking for that.
Well, Doug has a very good curveball. And it's very much off speed. And you see it cued right off the end of the bat. And that moves to count to 3-2. And finally, Hanley's going to break into a jog and get back to the plate.
Come on, kid.
Let's go, Hanley.
The starting shortstop of the All-Star game.
Doug Davis been waiting a while. Now Hanley gets in there. Okay. Right back to the. Well, he's going with the changeup here.
The 3-2. He pulls it in the hole and into left field for a base hit. For a moment, Reynolds might take a step to his left and take a shot at that ball.
Sometimes you lose the ball.
First baseman number
maybe
3,
somebody in the crowd, maybe a white shirt in the crowd or something like that. It looked like a routine chopper to third. Really, Mark Reynolds never moved. So that'll bring up Jorge Cantu.
The 345 batting average goes up to 347, and Cantu takes a pitch low. 1-0 the count. Broke in with Tampa Bay at Cantu. 05 was his big year. Hit 28 home runs for the Rays in 2005. Drove in 117. Ouch, got that one off his foot.
That's why you wear those ankle protectors. Got it right in the middle of it.
And after that season he had in 2005, by 2007 he was playing in the minor leagues again. He ended up struggling, being sent down. A real fall from grace in Tampa. Started to rebuild his career in Cincinnati. Curveball into dandy. 1-2 the count.
68 mile an hour on that slow curveball from Doug Davis. What a pitch.
And then last year, Cantu all the way back, 29 home runs, 95 RBIs in 155 games for Florida. Missed his spot there, and again pounded that one off the foot. You could see Montero was up and out of his crouch, and that one down about knee high. Effectively wild. Doug will tell you.
That's what Chris Snyder says, the same thing. He's effectively wild.
Doesn't try to pretend anything that he's not. I mean, that never has occurred with him.
That's what you enjoy about him. He's brutally honest, even about himself. Were you trying to throw that elevated fastball? No, I was trying to throw it down the middle. Ended up nose high and got the swing and miss.
They're trying to go up there again, by the way. They get a foul ball.
There you can see Miguel Montero showing Doug Davis, give it to me up here. He does.
Always when you're sitting in those great seats, keep an eye out. Doug making sure that no one got hurt by that foul ball. 2-2 the count. Those are great seats.
Beware of UFOs.
No. That means foul balls.
Oh, I thought you were talking about those Phoenix Lights came back or something like that.
Well, they did. So we're floating down the river to look at them tomorrow night. Curveball. Throw behind the runner. And now on in.
Well, the mistake right there that the Diamondbacks made was Miguel Montero had him halfway. All you do in that situation is run at him. Run at him. Watch Hanley Ramirez. He gets out there in no man's land. Now you run at him. Instead, he leaves Tracy out to dry, and Hanley Ramirez got in there safely. So next time, just run at him and make Hanley Ramirez commit one way or the other. Once he commits back to first or over to second, then that's where you make your throw.
He's feeling bouncy on the base pads. Oh my! Now look what that causes. 1-0 Florida Marlins. A ground ball that it looked like Mark Reynolds maybe lost and didn't move. Then a stolen base that shouldn't have occurred. And now a clean single and an RBI.
A clean single, but Stephen Drew was playing almost third base right there. He was playing Cantu so far down. This looks like it's right at the shortstop, doesn't it?
Well, certainly from
way over to the left with Stephen Drew. So unfortunately, Doug Davis, that's about as crummy a run as you can give up.
He's been executing his pitches. He's certainly been hitting his spot. And now Dan Uggla takes a curveball in the dirt. 1-0 the count. A.J. Hinch will join us from the dugout here a little bit later on. Josh Burns, the general manager of the Diamondbacks, will come on and sit with us in the booth. We'll learn more also about the Inter-Tribal Youth Baseball Invitational. That one in the dirt. All right. Is there a reset button anywhere? I'm just looking for it.
Can you take a mulligan? Started out really nicely. 2 quick outs.
Somewhere in the booth.
There's got to be a...
Just looking. 2-0 the count.
Can you hit? There's a rewind button right there, Darren. Go ahead and press that.
Afraid I might shut the truck down. Pitches in. 3-0 the count. Director Mitch Riggins gets very upset when we rewind the game. But in this case, he may approve it. Three and 1 the count. Now Doug is a guy too that can be on occasion a slow starter. To his credit, he came out executing.
Yeah, like I said, just a lousy run to give up.
The 3-1. 3-2 the count. Fastball. That's the straight fastball. Almost a little two-seamer. Turning it over a bit. Runner will be on the move here. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up here. Oh my. A little bit wide, and Montero was set up in, so he missed his spot. Wiley behind home plate didn't like what he saw. It looked like it was out. And rarely will you get the call when you're set up and have to reach all the way back.
Hey, we're going to get a visit from Mel Stottlemyre. Right there, what do you think he's telling me, Darren?
Well,
get your focus back. I know you just gave up a run you probably didn't deserve to.
Should be sitting here by me. What flavor Gatorade would you like for me to get you? I'll get you a cup and just get on back. You already should be sipping your cup of Gatorade.
Yeah, exactly.
I would imagine there's nothing technical. To have a Doug Davis walk in the first inning, it's not uncommon.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Not uncommon, but it occurred after some messes. All the way from Chile.
Yeah.
We thank them for their support, by the way, in the Mark Reynolds vote. They voted for Mark.
The Chilean
vote?
Oh, you bet. The Chilean vote came in for Mark Reynolds.
Yep.
That was nice of him.
1-0 the count with a curveball to Cody Ross. Slugger, 14 homers, 49 batted in. Ross 5 for 14 with a homer and 6 runs batted in his career against Doug Davis. Not interested in that curveball. 2-0 the count.
There's a lot of curveballs as Doug Davis.
This is where Doug really buckles down. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs. This one is a belt to center field. Chris Young going back, going just below the home run line. Gets by him. 1 run is in. The relay. Stephen Drew cuts it off. 2 runs are in, and just like that, the Florida Marlins had a pair, and they lead it 3-0 now. That ball smoked by Cody Ross.
Catcher number 29, Ronnie Polito.
Well, that's a home run just about anywhere else. Cody Ross got a cut fastball. He thought he hit it out of the park, but he boing right by Chris Young. Now Doug Davis turned a mistake by his Diamondback defense. Unfortunately, turned it into a 3-run inning by giving up that long double to Cody Ross.
So for the first time, the Diamondbacks will have to play out of a hole in this series, outside of the last few innings a couple of nights ago. You're talking about comfortable leads. This time it's Florida that strikes first. A very, very forgettable inning of play.
Unfortunately, as crisp as the game was last night, it's been that soggy today.
Over the outside corner, it's strike 3, but we've been looking for the rewind button. We think we found it. We'll see if in fact this affects the scoreboard. Scoreboard, sir. AJ, next move's on you and your boys to continue hitting like you have during these last 8 games. Southwest.com. Southwest Airlines brings you with Upton in the middle of the lineup. It's Reynolds behind. Down at the bottom, it's Young, Tracy, and Davis. This guy throws hard. Joshua Michael Johnson, born in Minneapolis, Florida's number 4 pick in 02. This year, he's going to the All-Star game with a fabulous season.
Well, the hard throwing, big 6'7" Josh Johnson. You hate to stake him to a 3-run lead this early.
Folks, that's a breaking ball there, a slider. Really gets on top of it. Almost has the look of a curveball. 1-1 the count. 93 miles an hour, just a little bit low. Now Felipe at 299. 6 homers, 25 batted in, an on base of 357. And that on base just went up.
That boy's having a heck of a year.
Asked Felipe what he was doing over the break. He said, well, I'm going to St. Louis, because he and Albert have quite a friendship from their time last year. And this might help him with his resume, Gracie. He said, I'm going to St. Louis.
Okay.
And I'm just going to get a lawn chair and sit outside. Maybe they'll invite me in and let me play in the game. he's got that kind of sense of humor.
He's a fun guy to be around. He's having a heck of a year.
Strike over the outside to Stephen Drew. Today the Diamondbacks, and it was fun to watch, taking infield, outfield. I think it was fun to have it occur with the crowd here. It was just moments before the game, within a half hour of first pitch. Infield, outfield, and Lopez came trucking on by with a smile. I just got better.
Practicing his trade. I like seeing the guys out there taking infield on a day game after a night game. You didn't take batting practice. You took it on your own in the cage, indoors. Get out there and move around a little bit. I like that.
These guys hit so much. All the time they hit. So why not? You know they're going to make time to get in the cage and hit.
Of course.
Jack Howell, just on nights like this, the hitting coach for the Diamondbacks, I think he just stays. Because sometimes you're working with the guys after, and then in with the waffles they come. Oh, and 2 the count. Taken off. He's out. So Lopez has 6 stolen bases, has now been thrown out 3 times this year.
He didn't get a very good jump. 0-2's a tough pitch to steal on, because a lot of times you get that waist fastball, and this is almost like a pitch out. Really out easily is Felipe.
Look for that rewind button again if I could find it, as that one bounces in here.
This is, like I said, almost a pitch out. Just easy pickings there for Ronnie Paulino.
Steven bounces that one on the ground to the right side. Rubbing that shoulder a little bit. Hopefully he is all right. Lopez, in his last couple of months last season, did strike up in all seriousness. Quite a friendship with Albert Pujols. Pujols says, and I quote, base hit right field, Stephen Drew. I keep my eye on Felipe. I act as a big brother a little bit. Maybe he is going to St. Louis. That's just what Albert needs. A few more people in his house.
Well, he's hosting the All-Star game, according to you, right? So he's got
they have officially,
all those people going to be staying at his house.
I found out earlier today they have officially changed the name to Albert's Game.
I like that, as it should.
Used to be where the All-Star game was hosted by a city, and a great American city, St. Louis. But when you put up numbers like this, it's a player-hosted event.
I agree.
And by the way, we will be visiting that player Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on Fox Sports Arizona. I'm going to sit down and talk with him.
We're going to get him. Exactly. Have him talk about hosting 100,000 people at his house. That one is sky foul.
One of them on the guest list, the guy that gets that velvet rope just pulled back, gets to walk right in, is this one.
Yeah, they probably won't even ask for his ID, even though he's just 21.
I agree with you.
Hello, Mr. Upton. Good to see you. We've been expecting you.
Justin, if he plays his cards right, could be hosting the All-Star game in 2011. But you have to be putting up some of the best numbers in the history of the game in a single season. Now, maybe so. One and 2 the count. Remember, it was last Sunday. The clubhouse was closed in the Diamondbacks locker room as time is called.
Hey!
I like that. Personally, I like that.
What do you like?
If you're in your windup or you're just you bet. Turn it loose. Just don't hurt anyone.
Timeout. Whoa! Watch out, Mike Riley, home plate umpire. You're going to call timeout? Let one fly at you.
Only because a lot of times, especially these guys on the mound and hitters too, you get in your zone, you got it all selected. Here's the pitch. You start to go through your motion, then you stop.
Time.
Yeah, may as well just turn it loose. All you kids at home, 1-2 the count.
Turn it loose.
So drive in the gap and
Let
turn
it
it
fly.
loose. The 1-2. Waves away. Upton goes down on strikes. A week ago, last Sunday, Justin Upton found out he was going to the All-Star game. Somewhat on the fence, he remembers what he was told.
Yeah, it was awesome. AJ had pulled me aside, but for my teammates to be excited as they were for me was awesome. I mean, the feeling in the clubhouse. A lot of guys were very sincere about being happy about me being an All-Star.
He was told, kind of a announcement style.
Gas.
Wow, here it goes. He's starting to add a few more miles an hour. How about that slider, by the way, to Justin?
Yeah, I think the next time Justin sees that one, it's going to be too soon.
That's all right.
That thing I like about Justin, that makes him mad. And when he's mad, he's a good player. A lot of players, when they get upset or get mad, it makes them worse. That wasn't his best swing. See if Mark Reynolds can catch up to some Josh Johnson gas.
Pitches away, 1-1 the count.
Mind you, this guy's one of the hardest throwers in the game, Darren, after major arm surgery.
He uses his leverage, he uses his size, and certainly Mark Reynolds knows what he's in for.
Gas.
Mark will trick you like this, though, Josh. That's Zach Greinke. Ask Felix Hernandez. You got the good stuff.
Ask Josh Johnson.
That's exactly right. He got him earlier this year. So Josh knows he'll trick you like that. Swing and miss a couple of times. You have to be an all-star or really good, though.
Ubaldo Jimenez.
That's exactly right. And then he'll hit it off his face in center field. This is the gentleman that gave it up. This was back in May.
The best microphones in the world in Florida. That sound.
Never ever interrupted by crowd noise.
Chewbacca.
The 2-2. There's that slider again. 88 miles an hour. You'll find out around the corner his slider is harder than his foe's fastball. Score. All right, here we go. Our wet and wild text poll 74499. Text A, B, or C. Will this club be A, over 500 in the second half, and even 500 or right around there, or under 500 in the second half? Again, text to 74499. Played very well going into the break, no doubt about it. Or will they carry it into the second half and keep piecing it together?
All right, what's your answer, Darren?
I'm going to say over 500.
Why did I think you were going to say that?
Over 500.
I'm going to say they're just going to be perfectly 500 because I think the odds of that are like astronomical against. That's hard to do. It's right at 500. Everything has to come out so that's my guess.
I think it's perfect. They would have to go, including today, to finish 500 on the season overall, right. 43 and 31. So they'd have to have a huge second half, 12 over to finish at 81 and 81.
That's exactly right. But you're saying they're going to be better than that. They're going to be over 500.
Not when it's all said and done. I'm just saying in the second half. Second half record.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The second half record. 500 right on the button. Because the odds of that are going to be really tough.
Yeah, still a big improvement.
Over 500 for D. Sutton.
Yep.
I love your half fullness. Never fails.
Second half goals. Do you set them? Do you discuss it? Are they individual? Are they team when you're a losing team? What happens as that is strike three? We spoke with A.J. Hinch and asked him, what are the goals as you see them for the team in the second half?
We can reestablish ourselves as a good baseball team, and we can do a lot of positive things. I think we can get back to respecting ourselves and developing being respected around the league for the team that we should be. I will never cash this season in and stop believing that better things can happen. So my second half goal is to gain the momentum that we have now and continue it into more productive, more consistent baseball.
Respect, that's a big word. More respect for yourself, more respect from the league, and that's something that they have understandably so battled in the first half.
You have to earn it. You have to earn that respect. And respect each other. Three and one now on opposing pitcher Josh Johnson. Doug Davis in danger of putting a freebie on and turn the order right over. There's a swinging strike. Big swing from Josh Johnson.
He has 4 hits this year and 34 at bats. He's got 5 RBIs.
Got a long ball.
That's exactly right. Big fella.
Walked.
He walked him. Mark McClune joins us a little bit more on the second half for the Diamondbacks. Mark?
Yeah, A.J. Hinch continued to talk about getting to 500 a meeting with a group of writers, kind of giving a state of the first half of the season and looking ahead to the second part of the season like we just heard about. But he said getting to 500 is a goal, but it's not the only goal, because what happens if they get to 500, say, in August or September? There's a couple weeks left to go in the season. The real goal for the second half of the season is to recreate the winning environment here, something that we haven't seen until about this last week in the first half of the season. Guys?
Good stuff, and we'll see. They're on the schedule. Some talented athletes that you play in red and that you play against. Looking forward to seeing all the ball games in the second half. We'll have them for you. That man will join us in the broadcast booth here in a couple of innings. This one is fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Baseball getting to see new City Field in the second half in New York. Looking forward to that. Of course, it'll be good to get, because that one is swung right through. Get back to Colorado. Haven't been there in a day or two. That'll be in the second half. Okay, so a strikeout. We were talking about this earlier. Our Quest high-speed pitch. The hardest fastballs, and then on the other end of the spectrum, that's who's battling today in Major League Baseball.
Third quickest, third slowest.
Which is obviously minus Tim Wakefield. We exclude him from that group. His average fastball about 74 miles.
Oh, we got to put him in there, don't we?
Now, that would have knocked Doug off the graphic. It wouldn't have looked as good.
Oh, yeah, I guess. You're right.
And we want Doug to be on the graphic. I mean,
it wouldn't make much sense to put a graphic up there and like not have Doug on it.
Tim gets to be in a league of his own, doesn't he?
Is there any other knuckleballers?
Is R.A. Dickey still in the big leagues?
Minnesota, I believe. No, he's in Minnesota. Kurt Zacher, really quick to remind me that yes, he is our fine statistician.
Is he a true knuckleballer though, or is it just one of his pitches?
I think it's one of those things. Like, for instance, our cohort is that one's tapped to first.
That'll be an error on Chad Tracy.
No argument whatsoever from Doug Davis. This is a play where Chad Tracy should have probably just gone to the bag, and then Doug Davis. Looks like he missed Big Chuck Merriweather right there on the call. Let's take a look. If he steps on the bag, he's out. Oh, yeah, he missed it. He missed it. Good call there by Chuck Merriweather. And some poor defense right now hurting the Diamondbacks.
Base hit. The ball's played cleanly on a backhand. That's an out. Ball was bobbled. That's what cost the play. That is ruled a base hit. No offense, and we're not trying to get all on Chad Tracy, but Chad will tell you, drop the baseball.
I'm sorry, that's an error. I love first baseman with all my heart.
And we love Chad.
But that's an error. Base hit. Now, I'm going to put E3 on my book.
2-0 the count to Hanley Ramirez, who, by the way, is the best hitter in baseball with runners in scoring position. The best. As he takes a strike, 2-1 the count. Facio struck out swinging for the second out on a cut fastball down. I hate to have any extra help in front of a guy like this. Ball of beauty. Locked him up. Put us inside of a hitter's head, Gracie, with a pitch like that. I want to swing, but I can't. Is that what happens?
I think in that situation, I think Hanley was looking for a cut fastball from Doug Davis. And once he saw it out of his hand, way up out of the strike zone, you tend to just give up on it. You think it's a fastball out of his hand, you give up on it. Whoa, it's a breaking ball, and it's a strike.
Got him over the inside corner. Hanley thought it was low. to have you back at the ballpark. These Diamondbacks, they'll be enjoying an all-star break. Kirk Gibson traveling. A.J. Hinch traveling to some cooler weather. Gracie and I are doing some traveling as well. We're heading to the Salt River. And we realize that there are rules and regs, as they like to call them. This is our Arrowhead Brown & Brown and Superstition Spring Chevy dealers' key to the game. One of the big rules is when you're floating down the river and you have an extra snack,
trash
tubing. That's exactly right. The wrapper or a can or a cup is to stash it and bag it.
Yeah, exactly.
Stash
stash all your trash and
keep
then
it together, bag it.
Put it in a bag and put it in the garbage collector.
Do not litter.
Oh, Darren, I just can't wait.
That one is fouled back. Don't forget to dump all trash in designated receptacles at bus stops. Salt River heroes equal litter 0.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Darren.
Well, that key to the game is that one. Stumbling, Bonifacio recovering. Nice play by Emilio Bonifacio. As Montero is erased.
Left fielder number 9, Geronimo Barra.
Montero getting down the line. That key to the game, by the way, has nothing to do with tubing at Salt River.
No?
Nothing.
Does it have, are you tying it in with the baseball?
Everything to do with the Diamondbacks.
Okay, well, please explain.
Well, A.J. Hinch over the last couple of days has heard questions. Are you concerned? Is the break coming at the wrong time? Is it bad that there's a break coming? Are you worried? Guys are getting a break. He's been asked in 100 different ways the last.
They're playing well. You don't want it right now. Exactly.
And he says, absolutely not. I'm not concerned, and I had that piece of advice for A.J. Certainly it applies, as that one grabs the inside, to our tubing. I mean, we have to follow the rules. We have to keep America and Arizona clean. But, A.J., whatever you've been doing and your boys, stash it, bag it, and take it to St. Louis.
Take it to St. Louis with you. Make sure you enjoy the All-Star game in St. Louis. It's good that A.J. is going to get a chance to be one of the coaches in St. Louis. That's great.
That's a good thought that you have. It has nothing to do with that as well. He's going with his family on vacation. The series is in St. Louis after the All-Star game.
Oh, okay. I got you. You gotta help me out with these things sometimes, Dan.
So you and I will live by the rules of stash it and bag it. We obviously will drink lots of water, wear tennis shoes and sunblock. And we won't tie our tubes together because it is recommended you can't attach them to one another.
Oh, you can't?
No, it's just not safe.
It's not recommended, or it's against the rules?
No, it's not recommended. Here's the deal, though. Wear a visor because you can protect yourself from the sun.
Hot, yeah.
You see, like that one.
Like Vanessa.
The next Saturday giveaway is July 25th. The D-backs take on the Pirates. The Pirates. The first 25,000 fans will receive a D-backs visor. Get tickets today by calling 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com.
Stash it and bag it.
Swinging right through it. The good-looking fitted cap given away today. Native American Recognition Day, giving away the Gila River community for the youngsters. Gila River casinos for those that are of age. We will have a representative here in a moment on D-backs TV talking about today and what it all means. There to make the play is Brett Carroll. Don't forget to drive only on paved highways or on posted Forest Service roads when you're heading to go tubing.
We're not going to take your Maserati off-road?
No, absolutely. I'm not messing with the rims. Are you kidding me?
I think I'd love it.
We have Chelsea Clinton in house with us.
Oh, good to have Chelsea. Got some fancy glasses.
Yeah, got to stay under cover.
That's bright inside.
Pitch is high, pitch is tight. 1-0 the count to Chad Tracy. So look for us, folks, if you're out there. Always a recommended destination to cool off and head on down the Salt River. Bring signs if you want.
Bring signs. Mark and Darren, come hang with us. We'd love to. We're going to get out there early, so you early birds probably going to have the best chance of maybe getting a picture with Darren. Maybe an autograph if you're lucky. Are you ready to rock and roll? Well, sure.
One and one the count. Chad Tracy. By the way, we're going to go Tuesday morning early so we can get back and watch the All-Star game. And it's down to Rocky Point for Wednesday and Thursday.
And then on the plane,
the 1-1. Bouncing ball to the right side. And Chad Tracy is erased, having a tough time with big, tall right-hander.
Josh Johnson.
Enos, thanks for coming up here, my friend.
Pleasure.
And of course, you know me. My name is Darren. Explain how much today is important to the community, how much it means for communities really all over the southwestern part of the United States with the baseball tournament we'll talk about. But first today, getting all the youngsters to dance out on the field, enjoy the traditional dances, and just to walk on a big league field for a lot of those young little leaguers.
Well, I think it's very important for them to share the tribes within the state of Arizona and those that have come here that maybe don't live here, to share a part of their heritage with the state of Arizona. I think it's very, very important for us to do that, to kind of educate, you know.
Dale, how much does it mean, the relationship, not only with Major League Baseball, but to be able to take the folks in your community, to plug them into professional baseball with the Diamondbacks? How much over the years has this relationship, us and you guys, meant?
The relationship with Gila River is fantastic. I think it's one of the best relationships that we have at the Gila River. We have a lot of great relationships, but I think personally, as a baseball fan, I'm very, very pleased. And this happened before.
Single there, lined into left field, by the way, a moment ago by Jorge Cantu. Dale Enos joins us up here in the booth. 5 folks that are members of the board of directors, the president, Kenneth Manuel, and great partnership here. Now, Gracie, you remember last Sunday you came back, and you and I almost, as Dougie comes off the mound, looks to second and gets Dan Ugla. You and I were shamelessly asking everyone, and Dale, by the way, it continued for about 3 days on television, for people to vote for Mark Reynolds. You remember that, Gracie?
Oh, yes.
This man right here voted all day.
Dale did?
Oh, yeah. He sent in a text, said, let him know I'm voting, and voted all day for Mark Reynolds, and did a great job. a lot of ball fields, especially even in your area with your group and your community, that I was at an opening last year, and I know you're proud of the sport of baseball with all the youngsters being played.
Yes, we're very, very proud of that partnership and the opportunity to have our young folks participate.
Here is Cody Ross. Breaking ball bounces in there. All right, we see it every time we drive down 10, heading towards Tucson. Tell us about the hotel, how it's coming.
Well, it's coming along great. It is, and we're looking at probably latter part of October, opening both the casino and the hotel at the same time.
I'm hearing rumors, some big acts. I won't throw anything out there. Some big music, Gracie. Going to get things kicked off.
Love it. Well, you tease me. Who is it?
I can't tell you. Dale certainly can't tell you.
Yeah, that's true. I can't tell you.
What kind of stuff is that? Come on, you guys.
Do you feel uninvited? Kind of excluded?
Yeah.
Like I felt when you didn't invite me to the big party at your house with Torrey Hunter?
Well, that wasn't at my house. We went out to eat. So, kind of like the party at your mom's house, just in Orange County in San Diego.
Dale Enos comes up to the booth, visits, learns about how serious we are up here in the broadcast booth. The 11th annual D-backs Intertribal Youth Baseball Invitational and the second annual NABI Baseball Invitational. And we'll explain more, but this is another partnership with Gila River Casinos, the Diamondbacks Foundation, where a lot of young baseball players, 900 baseball players, are playing over the next couple of days.
Exactly. Well, not only we have the younger group as well as older players, as well as softball. We have girls softball this year, so that was in addition to it. So that they make up a large portion of what we do.
And that's all a big part of it. Just to explain, folks, and you saw the Little Leaguers out there, we're talking about 900 participants. Tribal communities from Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, Washington, and Oklahoma. So this is not just Arizona.
No, it's all over. Bringing teams, I think as we get, each year it starts to get more and more teams, and they hear about it and they want to come.
How important, and I learned this taking my daughter over to the Heritage Center, and how important is, whether your community, wherever it may be, how important is the heritage for the younger people for it to be passed along generation to generation?
It's very important because we need to teach our young people the ways that we were taught at growing up. So it's very, very important for us to share our heritage with our young people.
0-1 the count. Dale Enos joining us up here in the booth. That one is high. 1-1 the count to Ronnie Paulino on Native American Recognition Day.
All right, Dale, what were you? Were you a pitcher? Were you an outfielder? Were you probably a first baseman? Athletic guy like you.
First baseman. Yeah.
Good. Probably a big power hitter as well.
Oh yeah.
Of course. See, what do you think about that? He wasn't one of those pitchers.
Well, he knows better. I'm sure they wanted him to pitch. He had the athleticism to pitch, but they put him over at first base.
Where do the athletes go?
Yeah,
right, Dale?
that's true.
Attaboy.
That's true.
I knew you had class.
Always trying to cause problems just because you don't know the big musical acts.
Dale and I are going to talk.
I know you can get anything out of anybody. I've seen that. I know you'll get that worked out.
We'll get the cat out of the bag here pretty soon.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot of fun, though. Lone Buttes opened up. Things going well there?
Yes, excellent. Yeah, we opened up in November of last year.
And I apologize for my ignorance. Where is that?
That is on Kyrene and the 202.
Okay.
Santan.
Right before the 202 hits the 10?
Yeah.
Kyrene exit.
You know what? I know right where you're talking about now.
Over the inside corner, that's strike 3, and Paulino is sat down. So a couple of outs in the inning as we continue our conversation with Dale Enos. And good stuff, too, this tournament, the partnership, as we've spoken of, the new hotel opening. And all of it very beneficial. The business side that we talk about, very, very beneficial for the personal side with the folks in the community. For education, for medical care, really is a helpful part of your community, isn't it?
Yes, a majority of the money that generated through the revenue generated through it goes back to support tribal government and the direct services to our community members.
Awesome.
0-1 the count to Brett Carroll. Carroll, of course, hit that big home run the other night, part of a forgettable inning. I'm actually sorry I'm mentioning it, as that one just missed outside.
And he's the villain.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Every story has a villain, and that historic story of a couple of nights ago And the Diamondbacks were up by 7 runs in the 6th inning. Well, they ended up losing 14-7. All lore has a villain, and it was Brett Carroll.
Broke his bat on it, too, by the way.
I still am shocked by that. He hit it a long ways.
Shula's Steakhouse, Mark Grace, going into the new hotel as well.
Shula's?
Yes.
Wow. Have you been to the one in Miami, Darren?
I have. Very good.
And they're popping up everywhere all over the country now. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
See why I'm being so nice to
Dale,
all the folks over there?
Can I maybe get a certificate?
Okay.
That one is a pop-up to right field. All the guys in the truck say they love Shula's Steakhouse as well, and he's welcome here anytime. See how that works out?
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you very much.
Congratulations on Native American Recognition Day. And all the youngsters enjoying things. Young Little Leaguers for the tournament that we spoke of. By the way, you youngsters, let's learn. It's time. Pitching with Tom Candiotti.
No.
Davis and Dan Herron.
Pitcher number 49, Doug Davis.
Lining up to the target, being able to pause at that balance point. Doug showing exactly what we're talking about. And Doug, the one thing he can do, he can hit.
Huh?
5 hits this year. He's got a triple. He's got an RBI. All these Diamondbacks pitchers can hit.
Dan Herron can hit. Max Scherzer hitting the ball very well this year.
And Doug.
Doug doing okay. I got to give it up for Doug.
Oh, good to have you doing that. 3-0 the score. Bouncing ball to the right side. And in time for the out. Doug is erased. Fortunate to get him, they were, these Marlins, that time.
And John Garland raking this year.
Not as much.
Felipe Lopez.
Brandon Webb, an excellent hitter, unfortunately on the disabled list.
Yeah, he's not a very good hitter either.
There's Webby looking for maybe a chance to be a pinch hitter.
Now he may.
He can hit.
They need him.
He can hit a little bit.
Awaiting the announcement who's starting that All-Star game.
When do we find out?
Hopefully by the end of the day today. That pitch is low.
We'll know before the end of the game?
I hope so.
Oh, looking forward to that. So, folks, get out there and vote for Dan Herron. Make sure you get out there and get the vote for starting the All-Star game. He deserves it. He needs your vote. Get out there and vote, folks. Where do you, dbacks.com?
It's decided by the manager, Charlie Manuel. You folks are welcome to visit dbacks.com, but you will find no icon to vote for Dan Herron there. Felipe Lopez drives it. ball's room. And a nice play made by Cody Ross. Taking a look at our good sport of the week. Gathering up good things, of course. Doug and Wolf's Gear Up for Kids, and they wrapped it up at Sanderson for the Boys and Girls Club of Phoenix, the beneficiaries there. You see Doug and our fine producer Yoda. Yoda being outed there, right there, top left of the shot. Month-long sporting equipment drive. Boys and Girls Club of Metro Phoenix, 8,000 pieces of equipment donated. And a great job by good guys on a good show, the Doug and Wolf in the Morning Show.
Very good guys. Heard you on there this week, Darren.
I had so much fun being able to come on and talk for 3 hours after a victory. Then I had to go on after the 7-0/14-7 game. That was not as big league. The show's big league.
It is.
I was not.
Very big league.
Steven dumps it in there, and it's a base hit.
One thing that was not big league.
Oh boy,
was the story Doug and you told about Girl Scout pictures.
Oh, with that.
It was honestly, it's the most regrettable, forgettable story I've ever heard in my life, and you know, it made me made me want to throw up, to be honest with you. But I hope if you go on again, you'll learn a lesson to never. You and Doug told the story as well. Please don't ever tell that story again, because it was terrible.
All-star Justin Upton digs in and takes strike one over the inside corner. It was a fabulous story. It certainly involved Dave Burns as well. And we'll be probably revisiting when I host again. 0-1 the count.
Well, it was awful.
In. And the count is 1-1.
And it will probably make people really want to change the channel. So please don't tell that again.
Oh, they don't change the channel. Because of me, they may. The 1-1. Shot, base hit, left field. Justin was struck out back in the first inning. Bounced right back off the mat. His 5 hits in his last 6 at bats.
Darren, you talk about it. He's one of those guys now that he just hits the hardest ground balls. And that ball was to the outfield grass before an infielder could even react. I would imagine he's going to get to the point where he's going to start scaring some third basemen. Now Mark Reynolds, a chance to hit, and he's representing the tying run here in the bottom of the third. We're already in the bottom of the third.
Moving right along. If you predicted a slow game today at any point before the game, you probably weren't right. Not so far anyway. Plenty of time left though to speed things up.
Speed things up behind the arms of Josh Johnson and Doug Davis.
Speaking of Josh Johnson, Josh Burns will be joining us in the next half inning.
Yeah.
And then after the 4th inning, A.J. Hinch joining us from in the dugout.
Wow.
One and one the count. Couple of runners on.
Gas. Right by him to go in 1-2. 96 miles an hour.
A big fella turning it loose, shirt coming untucked.
A big old corn-fed boy. Where's he from, Darren Sutton?
Minnesota.
From Minnesota.
The heart of America.
Man, the upper Midwest.
They like to call that God's country up there in Minnesota.
I was just there last week, Darren. It is beautiful this time of year.
The 1-2. Got him with a slider. He tipped it. Paulino held on. Josh Johnson is nominating. Josh Burns will be joining us. Vice President and General Manager, joins us up here in the booth. And we were just talking about it a moment ago, Josh. When does everyone find out? And are you doing some campaigning to get Dan Herron that start in the All-Star game? When do we find out?
Well, I don't know when we find out. I know AJ has talked to Charlie Manuel a time or two, and obviously Webby was the runner-up in the Cy Young to Lincecum, so maybe it's our turn to get the All-Star starter. But they're both deserving. Obviously, we're much more biased towards Danny Herron.
Now you can see the internal numbers. Certainly, we can go down about 9 categories, but I mean, even with base runners managing the game down there, a historic year that Danny is having.
It's incredible. I know a couple of the Marlins people, Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, Hanley Ramirez, and I talked to them for quite a while yesterday about Herron, and they were impressed. They just said it's when you have 4+ pitches and you can throw any pitch anytime, you can command them, you can upset timing with the delivery. It's a long night. It
is a long night, and I think last year we noticed that Dan started playing with a cut fastball, and I was like, what? And I remember telling Dan, wait a minute, what the heck is that? Now that's really become his go-to pitch this year, and it's been less than a year that he's been throwing that thing, and yet it's one of the best pitches, not only for him, but it's one of the best pitches in the game right now.
Yeah, he told us in spring training last year that he had it and was discouraged from throwing it. And, I think their games this year, he might only throw 5 or 6 splits.
Exactly.
So I think he can widen the plate. He can stretch it vertically. He can, throw a fastball to finish the at-bat. And Mark Wiley was saying, not that many guys throw splits anymore. So to have a guy with a really good one, it's just not a pitch hitters are used to seeing.
Let's talk about the other All-Star, Mr. Justin Upton. You've got to be proud of him. At the age of 21, he's already doing the things he's doing. Wow, that guy's pretty fast.
Yes, he is.
He already knew that, though, I think.
Yeah.
You've seen that before.
Yeah, Justin, with all the hype he's had really since 14 in the scouting community, to then go out, be the first pick in a great draft,
right?
Get here at a young age, play in the postseason, have an 08 season with huge ups and huge downs, and then get off to the rough start, spring training plus the beginning of this year, and be an all-star at 21. I think we knew the talent was there. Now we've seen what you need to do up here, which is fight through the bad times, and he's done it very, very well.
When did you see the light go on with him? It was for Justin Upton, it was a miserable spring. He really struggled in spring training. Then he got out of the gate with 10, 12 at bats where he struck out about 8 times, and it was like, and you were starting to hear rumblings. Boy, they may have to send Justin to Reno, or they may have to make a move here. When did you see the light go on for him this year? Because he's been fabulous.
Well, he has a great support system, both here, but his agent Larry Reynolds, his baseball background, brother of Harold Reynolds, B.J. Upton, his parents. So I think the people he talks to when things aren't going well give him pretty good advice. Again, both those who work here and those who are in a circle away from the park. And I remember talking to Justin the night we played the Cardinals. I think he was either hitting off Kinney or McClellan. Extended at bat, fouled off pitches, laid off sliders, got hit by the pitch. Then Connor Jackson hit a home run. And he still wasn't feeling it, but there he was. He was competing. He was contributing. And I've got a sense maybe that was the at-bat that would spark him. Because even when you're not swinging it well, you find a way to do something. But it was a rough start. And to give Justin credit, he stayed with it. He's not a huge experimenter as some guys are. I think he stuck with his fundamentals. He did change his hand position a little bit. And then he just let the talent go.
He's got an edge to him, too, doesn't he?
He does. I love it. I think it's we've been I've been around the Boston guys who play with a smile on their face. I've been around Albert Bell, who was mad at the world,
sure.
and Justin. We talk about it a lot downstairs. He's very interested in beating the opponent every day. Some of the peripheral stuff of the business are peripheral to him. He wants to dominate someone.
He's an all-star. He's only 21. Meantime, the Futures game trying to battle through the rain. Layson Septimo there representing, and Jared Parker as well. I'd like to ask you about both, but Jared Parker is a young man that hasn't given up a home run yet this year. Is throwing ground balls, is striking guys out. A young man that has made the move to Double-A as the 3-2 pitch comes home, fouled off, and we're proud to show you this, folks at home, as you comment. This is behind the scenes moments ago. How proud are you of what he's doing?
Very proud. He's a tremendous kid. His brother's in our system too. Again, a little bit of a family deal, and very intense competitor, pretty salty on the mound. And as you said, you kind of get drafted high because you're athletic, you got a clean arm, you throw hard, you can spin a breaking ball. And I think now as he's 2 years in, he's rounding a few things out. We do talk about Herron. He's got a really good fastball on the radar gun. Jared Parker, 92 and 98. I'm not sure it's going to be Max Scherzer where his 95 looks like 100. But he knows how to keep it on the ground and keeps it in the park. I think he probably, hopefully, will mirror Dan Herron where he has 4 weapons with enough power and he can really do what he needs to do, in, out, up, down, front, back, make his pitch, and always keep his thumb on the hitter because he's got a lot of ways to get a guy out.
Why do you think this club has improved? I mean, really big picture all the way back since the staff changed over and Jack Howell's philosophies. There have been dips, no doubt, but even in this last 8 games, the offense is making improvements.
Well, we always felt it was in there. Upton and Reynolds deserve a lot of credit because for most of the year they've just been productive.
Sure.
Very few down moments. Then I think Jack's done a great job. Even a guy whose numbers don't look it, but look at where Chris Young's numbers have been since he changed his hand position. And then we get Parr up here. We get a little more left-right balance into our lineup. Stephen Drew's heating up. Miguel Montero's doing his thing. And I think that was probably my biggest concern, less so than the improvement of these guys, was finding enough left-right balance. Parra's emergence, Montero's emergence. We know Drew's going to be there, trading for Brandon Allen. A good lineup can play against Ricky Nolasco, who's tough on righties, but still have enough at-bats to get our runs.
A guy that, an offensive player that really hasn't been there all year, Connor Jackson. What's the word on him?
He's actually feeling a little bit better. And, you talked, it's a bit of a mysterious thing. I think once you feel better, don't get greedy and set yourself back.
Right.
But I think maybe he's out of the woods. Maybe he can play this season. Although he can do some of the baseball stuff, he hasn't really been able to do the weight room stuff. We've talked about maybe trying to get him in the Arizona Fall League, where I'd probably have to pull a few strings to make that happen.
Well, you can do that.
Yeah, I hope so. And
right here. Interrupted by the noise of the foul pole being banged. And it was interesting there. Bonifacio started to peel back towards first base and was reminded, no, young man, that's out of here. So, unfortunately, with the boss looking on, tough news to pass along, 5-0.
Really an amazing at bat by Hermida. That was about a 12-pitch at bat, a hanging changeup, and it makes a loud sound when it hits that right field pole. So 5-0 Marlins.
You make a great point, though, Gracie. If we were in here learning more about the team, that at bat would have been spoken of in depth just because of how long it went on and on and on.
Well, he's an example. He was a high first-round pick and blew through the minors. Was like a 100-walk guy at AA with some power, and he hasn't quite done what they hoped for. I think that's his 3rd homer against us this year, so he's swung it okay against us.
You had this kid as well, Hanley Ramirez, didn't you, in the Boston organization?
I did, and he was a AA right to the majors, and he was with Dustin Pedroia, Jonathan Papelbon, and John Lester in AA, and always had the most physical talent, and kind of got his little leg lift, and I think unlocked a few things offensively, and now he's got to be one of the best 5 players in the game.
Did you project him to be this dominating, this good?
So potential versus reality.
Okay.
I think the it's funny. I remember watching him in spring training with Bill Polian, who's been the GM of the Buffalo Bills and Indianapolis Colts, and who's a big baseball fan.
Right.
I've gotten to know Bill fairly well, but he was drawn to this one. It's hard to miss Hanley Ramirez just as a world-class athlete, and I think he got his baseball skills up to speed.
Fouls that one back. It is tough, though. I mean, projecting, as you say, and then realities as they come together. You can't see the future. You can't see if a young man, and that's why I think even not only ability but character has to play into it too. Are they going to take care of themselves and maybe in some level stay out of trouble? He's
very smart, and we brought a lot of our young players into Boston. That whole crew with Pedroia and Papelbon and Lester, and we do some classroom stuff with them in the wintertime. Kind of how do the contracts work? What's an advanced scouting report mean? Really life in the big leagues. Some topics they haven't had to think about, and in a setting like that, it showed. He was attentive, he was smart, he asked questions, we'd sort of pop quiz them on advanced scouting, and he seemed to always have the right answer.
He rolls it out to his counterpart, and in time for the out. Two-way. Give us the insider's perspective of the trading deadline, first baseball-wise, and then how you may see it. I know you can't play your hand affecting this organization.
Well, I think this particular year, it's hard to project. There are a few issues, a lot of teams in it. Some economic issues where even just taking a salary, adding $1 million or $2 or $3 for the remainder of the year might be a challenge for some teams. And it's just, I think the way it's been most of this decade is what you think is going to happen in July. By the time you get to October, a lot of things you never would have guessed end up happening. So, I think the trades you've seen, the one we made, which is not a true buyer-seller trade, we traded 3.5 years of Tony Pena in exchange for 6 years of Brandon Allen. Ryan Church for Jeff Francoeur. I think you might see some of those trades where teams just shuffle the deck a little bit, but don't totally say this is a short-term move or a long-term move. In our case, we've dug ourselves a pretty big hole, so I don't think we're going to be irresponsible about really making a playoff run this year, but I don't think we're going to make a trade unless we feel like there's value to us in 2010 and beyond.
Let's just say a trade does not happen. What are your expectations for this crew in the second half?
I think to get our edge back, the competitiveness, winning close games, being resourceful, being a little crisper. The offense has picked up. That was certainly something that needed to happen. But stylistically, how we play and how we find a way to win games rather than find a way to lose games. So that's something that's important to us. Our personnel is not perfect, but it's pretty good. We kind of need to get our style back.
We learned a lot. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Enjoy the break.
Thanks,
Executive Vice President and General Manager Josh Burns joining us on the eve of baseball's All-Star break. More after this. Five to nothing the score. Josh Johnson goes back to work, and now, it's time to go to work for a guy who is rarely supported offensively in Doug Davis. Trying to drive it into the gap, drive it out up over the wall, and it's our Gila River Casinos hit and win inning. As that one is a strike. Actually missed it. Hit the sign, and it's close to $500,000, $490,000 out there in left field or right field as Miguel fouls it off.
Almost got it on that one.
DVAX.com/hit and win Gila River Casinos. Today's contestant, James Duvall. James, good luck.
Good luck.
$490,000. That one bounces in there. Boy, better hit it cleanly. I just started thinking about this, and I got to be honest, I usually have a way with words, or at least I think. I'm a little nervous if it grazes it. I want a clean hit because No,
didn't get it. Didn't.
If I give the call, oh, he hit it, he won it. And it didn't. And James would be mad at me.
Great point.
Oh, you're going to love this Aflac trivia question, folks. And I know you too, Gracie.
How bad?
Name the 3 players who have hit the most home runs in All-Star history.
Wow. I like that one.
See, I told you folks at home. What do you guys think at home? What do you folks think on D-Backs Booth on Twitter? What do you think?
Well, I think Gerardo Parra squared the bunt, took strike 1, driving in the gap.
Looking forward to,
with 1 out.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing a young man who's absolutely white hot in Gerardo Parra. As a matter of fact, he is 16 for his last 32. Driving it in the gap.
Got his average back up to 288, making that run at 300. That magical number.
Oh, and 2 the count. Just got a piece of it. Guesses are coming in.
I'm going to guess Reggie Jackson for one of them. A little extended there on the buzz. Thank you very much. Not very big league.
How about Brett Murdoch, who joins us online? He guesses Stan Musial. There you go.
Stan. What a player. How about Willie Mays? Starting to get fed up with this question. Steve, you're right 3 on some gas at the knees.
Andrew Musin wants to guess Hank Aaron.
Surprising. Okay, I'm going to guess Luis Gonzalez.
Mike Irvine joined us on Twitter. He wants to guess Ken Griffey Jr.
Darren, I just got a text. Just got a text from our old buddy Matt Williams.
Really?
And he's guessing himself, Matt Williams.
Almost does that.
Matt.
Didn't mean to. Little check swing roller. Paulino picks it up there. Makes a fine play. Well, we've got a ways to go, so continue to guess.
No, it's not Matty.
Figure it out.
But he guessed himself again.
And really make it interesting in a lot of games. I mean, we're going to have to work hard today against Johnson. He's a terrific pitcher. There's a reason he's an all-star. But I've been happy with our offense in recent weeks.
I think you have to be equally pleased with the starting pitching, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our guys, we had 17 innings from our starting pitcher in the last 2 days. So, obviously, today with Doug, I pulled him just now. We're going to go to the bullpen in the 5th. But, our starting pitching has lasted as long in the games as most teams in baseball. We're in the top 5, I believe, in innings pitched out of our starters. So, there's not much to complain about there.
Does Dan deserve to start the game Tuesday?
Absolutely. He's the best pitcher in the National League. Obviously, Lincecum as well as with the Cy Young and all that he's accomplished. But as I said a couple days ago, I'll take Dan Herron.
Thank you very much, AJ.
All right, we'll see you later.
Enjoy your break, AJ.
Thank you.
For the Diamondbacks, now pitching number 47, Leo Rosales.
A moment ago, A.J. Hinch joining us in the dugout. The first question about the last week and a half during this run with the offense. It's been good.
There's a reason he's an all-star, but I've been happy with our offense in recent weeks.
I think you have to be equally pleased with the starting pitching, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our guys, we had 17 innings from our starting pitcher in the last 2 days. So obviously today with Doug, I pulled him just now. We're going to go to the bullpen in the fifth. But, our starting pitching has lasted as long into games as most teams in baseball. We're in the top 5, I believe, in innings pitched out of our starters. So there's not much to complain about there.
Does Dan deserve to start the game Tuesday?
Absolutely. He's the best pitcher in the National League. Obviously, Lincecum as well as with the Cy Young and all that he's accomplished. But as I said a couple days ago, I'll take Dan Herron.
Thank you very much, AJ.
All right, we'll see you later.
Enjoy your break, AJ.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Apologize for the early technical difficulties. Simply put, I could re-answer it for him. He said the offense is not a huge concern of mine, though we're going to have a tall task today against Josh Johnson. The rest of it you heard clear as a bell. That's always a nice treat to be able to do. We knew before anybody else, by the way, that this man was coming into the ball game.
That was great. It's great for AJ to do that. It's first class. You don't get that anywhere else.
That goes rolling out to the mound. Jagged edge spiked into the baseball bat as Ugla is erased.
Goodness gracious. Be careful out there. Leo Rosales. Man, get rid of those maple bats, please. Look at this weapon coming right into your living room.
Five to nothing the score. The Marlins lead it. Leo just back up.
There's a look at that jagged weapon coming right out at Leo Rosales. But I guess all's well that ends well until, unfortunately, somebody's going to get maimed or get killed. Then we'll do something. It's always nice to do all the things that need to be done after the fact.
Fly ball, right field. Justin Upton is there. Hey, don't forget, by the way, Upton's all-star teammate Dan Herron represented. The first 5,000 kids to the Sunday, July 26th game receive a Dan Herron replica jersey T-shirt, courtesy of Majestic. You can stick around and run the bases after the game. 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com/Sunday. And you can shop for the All-Star game online as well. Shop for Diamondbacks gear. dbacks.com/shop. A great place to visit as Paulino pops that one up. Around. Official hats, t-shirts, jerseys, and collectibles. Get team gear straight from the source. Visit dbacks.com/shop. And again, all-star gear right there, Mark Grace.
Team shop.
Oh, good to see the team shop. Now that, open all the time. Come on down, just call ahead. But even when the team is out of town, great place to shop and get your Diamondbacks gear. Looking forward to stopping by for some free things.
Well, I think we've probably earned that right, haven't we?
Just right outside the ticket window, just right to the left of all the ticket windows there. It's a great place to come on in. You can buy yourself a ducket.
Very nicely done there by Leo Rosales.
Got some team rigs in as well.
The heck is going on? All right, now Power Sports Pool Cam's got my partner Darren Sutton with a big belly flop right in the ride now. Power Sports Pool. What was that all about, Darren?
Well, I want to thank all the fans who voted me into the pool during the telecast. And you guys have a good break. And next time, vote for Mark Grace, please.
There they are.
Beautiful shirt that I had is now used to clean my car. Ground ball right field and a base hit for Chad Tracy. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to, in the wintertime, keep that pool nice and warm if you happen to have a pool heater. Or if you want to just manage your energy bill a lot more. Our APS rooftop solar cam reminds us if you're able to install solar panels on the roof of your home, visit APS.com to learn more about your energy bill and how you can pick the plan that works best for you. All of
Tony
the above.
Clark stepping in now.
Want to know the count.
So Leo Rosales is done after a very clean, very quick inning. Diamondbacks looking to chip away.
The man did his job. Would love to have gone back out for more. Tony was 1 for 4 last night. 2 for 15 in the month of July.
Three and 0. Got to have just one here, couple there. Next thing you know, you're right there, Darren Sutton. I say no time like the present.
3-1 the count.
Get a couple of guys on base, maybe get a base hitter, drive it in the gap, get things going, get you a little more excited. You've been moping around here all day. Let's go. Get a little excited up here, Darren.
Well, I have been.
Nice pitch.
Pitcher's pitch, no doubt about it. Extended outside corner a bit. Tony Clark, 251 career home runs. 30 home runs here in 2005.
Got him there. Got him to chase ball 4.
Taking a look at our Firestone leaderboard up top of the television screen. ERA leader. Look at that. That's great. Just a tick over 2.
Been amazing. He has been, in a word, brilliant.
.96 over the outside corner.
This kid's a good one. Albert Einstein never wore any socks.
5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Marlins. 0-5-0 for the home team, the Diamondbacks. As that one is low. Any more guesses, by the way, on the Affleck trivia question?
Oh, yeah, that's right. How about Johnny Bench? I know he hit a few.
There's a common guess coming in here. 3 folks, as that one is in on the knuckles and lifted into left field for a base hit. How about Felipe? 2 more hits.
Shortstop Steve Andrew.
His bat stays in the zone for a long time, pulls his hands in. Yeah, he gets jammed. But when your bat stays in the zone for a long time, you're going to get your fair share of flares. Fair share of flares.
Well said.
Man, yeah, you can't get this just anywhere, Darren Sutton.
Nope, you're not going to get this kind of information like a flare and a bat flip, too, as well. As that one is lifted into the
I like it. I like the Lopez flip.
He likes it. He'll be outside the All-Star game.
That's right.
In a folding chair, lawn chair. Hoping that maybe, just maybe, he gets invited in by Charlie Manuel.
I would imagine he's probably going to stay with Albert Pujols, as is the rest of America.
Quick conversation out on the mound. Well, we have on Twitter Matt Broyles on D-backs booth. Come visit us. Justin Coleman and Paul Maxon all guess Ted Williams.
Ah, very good. So we've got two of them?
Yes.
And who's the other one? Stan Musial? Stan Musial, Ted Williams. Hopefully somebody else. How about hopefully somebody else that maybe since I was born?
That pitch is up and away.
How about Willie Stargell?
That one is lifted up and into the seats.
How about Steve Garvey? Oh, I got it. Rod Carew.
2-2 the count.
Well, Pete Rose. Really.
Slider is away.
Buzzing me hard.
Tina Pope came up with a great guess. That means she watches and has watched, like a lot of you. We appreciate it. Tina's guess is Matt Manti. That was guessed for about a week and a half.
That's great, Tina. That means she watches a lot. Our old buddy Matt Manti. You can't escape us, Matty.
Stephen Drew drives it off the end of the bat there to make the play. It's Cody Ross. Boy, Drew put a good pass on that baseball. Let's answer that trivia question.
Okay, who is it? I think I guessed every All-Star and got every one of them wrong.
Most home runs in All-Star history.
Fred Lynn. I remember Fred Lynn's grand slam off Atlee Hammaker.
Had a couple of Fred Lynn guesses in there. I'm just noticing. But I'll tell you what, we have one gentleman, a loyal fan. Alistair Ferguson from across the pond in Scotland. He watches all the time. He guessed all those in order. Exactly with the number of home runs included. He is a man after my own heart. Obviously, he used his computer. So well done copying me. Want to get ahead in life? Just look it up on your computer.
Nothing like a good shortcut.
Justin Upton. I mean, Gracie, do you understand? We have all the way in Scotland someone eluding their mind by watching this show.
I love it.
Alistair Ferguson. Shame we didn't have Matt Williams here in the booth, Diamondbacks legend, to help us kind of talk through that. He only guessed himself?
He guessed, the home runs himself. He's guessed himself a lot this year. Texts me all the time. Like, for instance, who led the team in home runs in 2000 or whatever, or who led the team and who had the best batting average in 1999. You can set your watch by it. You're going to get a text from Matt Williams, and his guess is always going to be Matt Williams.
Boy, how about that slider? That is a 2-0 pitch, folks. A slider at 86 miles an hour. It looks like a curveball. This is a slider.
Justin not interested in it. He wants to hit off the fastball. Let's see if Josh Johnson gives him one to hit. Oh, he got a fastball, but it was 96 miles an hour. Power on power. The victor in that battle was Josh Johnson.
121 in the third innings pitched, 102 strikeouts coming in. 2 starts against the Diamondbacks and a 1.35 ERA against Arizona. John Garland beat him earlier this year in a 5-3 final score. Justin, fly ball right field, slicing away in the foul territory. Way to bring it, young man. That's great. Two and two the count. A change
up there. Good take there by Justin. Both runners will be on the move. That'd be Mr. Chad Tracy. And right behind him is going to be Felipe Lopez. Let's see if Justin can plate him here. His timeout's called.
Runners go. 3-2 pitch. Got him with the slider. An 89-mile-an-hour wicked slider. Slow curveball, and then a slider. Hard fastballs before those, by the way. Slider again, but 97 as well. You swing at that pitch when you're looking for 97. The hardest fastballs in the game. Josh Johnson is third. We like to say on the other end of the spectrum, Doug Davis is third, but unfortunately, a tough day for Double D today. Our Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Doug went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. He struck out 7 as Juan Gutierrez goes to work. Those numbers you can find, by the way, on Fangraphs.com. Great website. As that pitch is high, 1-0 the count. To Brett Carroll. Five to nothing. Florida leads it. Home Run Derby tomorrow night. All-Star Game workout. All-Star Game on Tuesday night. And what are all you folks going to do on Wednesday? What are we going to do on Wednesday?
Well, we're heading to Rocky Point.
We will be thinking about baseball, and there will be none. It's going to be a bizarre day. Right there, maybe just catch up on some Z's down on the beach down there. High pop. Gutierrez buries that fastball in. I want to send a big hello out to Dan Peterson. Join us on D-Backs booth on Twitter. From Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Really?
Good to have folks from all over the world joining us online and watching wherever you may be.
Way over there on the east side of Canada.
The 2-2. He loves to saw styrofoam. One of his favorite things to do.
Huh?
It's one of Dan's hobbies.
Saws styrofoam.
Different kind of sawdust it gives.
That's painful looking right there.
It's kind of disturbing. 3-2.
Didn't enjoy that shot, to be honest with you.
Nope.
Pitcher Josh Johnson.
And here is Josh Johnson.
I'm sure he'll be asked to bunt here. Up 5-zip. Just sure Freddie Gonzalez is like his big fella to drop a bunt, get right back in the dugout and rest. All right. Juan Gutierrez, we're going to throw some strikes.
Got a note from Zach Milano online. He wants to say hello to Grace and not Darren.
Really? What's that all about?
I don't know.
Zach.
He's upset with me. That one is bunted and it's a foul ball.
So it says right there on D-Backs booth, it's, hi Gracie, but not Darren.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, like to shake Zach's hand. To be honest,
I figured you'd say that. That one is bunted. He did his job as Johnson. Gutierrez erases him, so Brett Carroll moves up into scoring position. I can't even imagine, Mark Grace, what it was like when you had the opportunity to pack up. I felt like a little kid like her, eating some ice cream, and go to the All-Star game. To as you had the chance to do. What are some of your fondest memories?
Oh man, well, I went to 3 American League cities. 1993 was in Baltimore. 1995 was in Texas, Arlington. And 1997 was in Cleveland. Remember, I didn't get a hit in the All-Star game. I'm 0 for 4 in All-Star games. I faced Randy Johnson.
Wow.
I faced Mark Langston. Jimmy Key. Then I got a right-hander. I'm disappointed that I didn't do better as that one gets away against the right-hander, because really he was just kind of a run-of-the-mill right-hander, and that was Mariano Rivera.
Oh my goodness. What year was that with Rivera?
I got a heaping helping of him in 1997 in Cleveland.
So you had another chance, if memory recalls, later on to face him.
Yeah, I faced him again in the 2001 World Series in the 9th inning. And the future Hall of Famer, I think he knows my name.
Infield is drawn in. I don't want to leave this subject, though, because like I get to hear from my father about what it's like to gather in the rooms at the Otesaga Hotel in Cooperstown. All the Hall of Famers get together. I can't even imagine to walk in, see your name on a locker, and see all the greats of the game in one room.
Well, the first one, like for instance Justin Upton, the first one you get to, it's overwhelming. It's you find yourself getting emotional. As okay, Juan Gutierrez, we're going to throw some strikes. That's 2 walks here in the inning. And Mel Stottlemyre going to come out and have a conversation with his right-hander. He's probably going to come out and say, all right, Juan, we're going to throw some strikes. So, but the first one is overwhelming, and when you're flying there, Darren, and then you're You're picked up in a van from the airport and all that, and you're whisked either to the hotel or to the ballpark, wherever it is. And the one thing that really came into play for me was I had to get over. I had to realize. At first, I didn't think I belonged there. You know what I mean?
Jeff Cirillo talks about that a lot when he first went.
And that's what I mean when I mean overwhelmed. I wasn't Barry Bonds. I wasn't a perennial all-star that like an Albert Pujols now. I wasn't a guy like that. I played for 16 years. I got 3. I was fortunate enough to get 3. I was never elected by the fans. I was always selected by a manager. Twice by Bobby Cox, once by Felipe Alou. And so, you're never really in the run. I was never really in the running for. I think the highest I ever came in the vote was maybe 4th or 5th. So, once you do get there, you have to get over that hurdle of, do I belong here? And that's probably what Justin will be thinking about. The fear of the unknown. You don't know. Hey, got him at first base. Emilio Bonifacio picked off. That's a big out for Gutierrez and the Diamondbacks. Out number 2.
Speaking of the unknown, it was someone not known to him that he had a good move.
Cleanly out. Big Chuck Merriweather over there at first base, ringing it up. So now Gutierrez got a chance to put a 0 up if he can retire Jeremy Armida, and that's strike 2. So I would imagine that's going to be the one thing. And another thing you'll find out, Darren, he's going to have to sign about 400 baseballs. So he needs to get that right hand ready. Nice block there by Miguel Montero.
He said he plans on doing a little collecting himself.
Oh, yeah. And that's what it's for. All the All-Stars will be signing all those baseballs because you get one. And my advice to him would be, man, enjoy it. I mean, really, any function, any party, anything, go to it. Take your family to it, because trust me, Mr. and Mrs. Upton will really want to enjoy that and want to go, as that's strike 3. Mrs. Heron and Mr. Heron will really want to go and do those things, because you can't count on them every year. You're fortunate. Go and enjoy it.
Arizona presents D-backs baseball, brought to you by the top 3 power Chevy dealers in the Valley: Arrowhead, Brown & Brown, and Superstition Springs. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Enjoying time at the ballpark today on Native American Recognition Day, on the eve of a massive baseball tournament. That one is fouled off. 900 participants from the 11th annual D-backs Intertribal Youth Baseball Invitational, presented intertribal communities from Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, Washington, and Oklahoma. The 0-1. That is away. Johnson climbing up close to 90 pitches. And he's just about there. That ought to be a great tournament of baseball. Gila River Casinos partners up as well. Games, by the way, Gracie, are hosted by the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community and the D-backs, when you're part of that, Diamondbacks Youth Fields. Where's your field?
I've got 2 of them. I've got one in Flagstaff.
Wonderful.
And then I've got one out at Luke Air Base. Thunderbolt Field out at Luke.
You'll be proud of that.
Oh, that's awesome. Very proud of it.
Good
proud of
you.
both of them.
Good for you. What a wonderful program. Pitches away. 2-1 the count. We have some fans we noticed up above that are enjoying a family day at the ballpark with some bubbles. As you saw that one floating down to the diamond. Josh Johnson a moment ago stepped off the mound and had one float by, and he wanted to pop it. Didn't want any small bubbles around. He's a kid himself.
He's still a kid. Oh, what a tough call there.
Wow.
What could have easily been ball 4 was called a strike.
There it is.
Still hanging around.
That one is fouled off. 96 miles an hour still. Comfortably. What do you think about that list that he's on? Justin Verlander. And this is a young man that's right there with Ubaldo Jimenez, the great fireballers in the game. It doesn't come in like that.
Got it.
My goodness. Slider, correct?
That's a slider, I guess, at 88 miles an hour.
Catcher Miguel Montero.
What's Brewing brought to you by our good friends with Miller Lite. The All-Star game is Tuesday on Fox. And the Diamondbacks hit the road to St. Louis and Colorado. Get a chance to see baseball after you've watched baseball from St. Louis, Missouri. See what those first place Cardinals are all about. Little liner. And Miguel Montero loses the bat. 2 outs. That's no fun, is it?
Breaking your bat?
Take a swing at the baseball, maybe thinking you're on it, and then having that happen.
Oh, especially the first pitch. You get a first pitch fastball that you think you're on it, but yet the ball's on you a little quicker than you think. You break your bat and make an easy out. Yeah, it's frustrating.
The Futures game in St. Louis going to get underway in about 20 minutes.
Broke his bat.
Broke his bat again. That was a change up there.
Pretty quick inning there for Josh Johnson.
Pretty easy for the right-hander. That will allow him to work on in this game. Ford and Lincoln Mercury. Now sponsors of D-back baseball and the Family Day as well. Visit Sanderson Ford. Youngsters enjoying the ball game. Families enjoying the ball game. Have to wait a while for baseball back here at Chase Field. All right, Wet and Wild second half record for the D-backs. Over 500, 500, or under 500. Kind of split across the board, but over 500 is what I think, as you folks voted as I did, with hope. Honestly, that's a vote with hope for a club that was well below in the first half. But 17% agree with Mark Grace, exactly 500.
Right at 500. They're going to do it.
17%. Esmeralda Vasquez will go to work against Hanley Ramirez. 4.71 ERA. Fastball.
Still think the National League's going to win the All-Star game, Darren Sutton?
That's what I've been saying.
I think it's their year this year.
To the right side, up and over the head of Chad Tracy. Into Ramirez eases into first with that single. Our Geico quote of the game.
All right.
Comes from
Always look forward to this.
Confucius.
Huh?
Our
Wow.
greatest glory is not in never falling, but in getting up every time we do. Our Geico quote of the game. 5-0.
Stunned to silence.
You like that? Tough first half.
Oh, I knew we were going to have to tie it in.
Got to get up.
All right.
Learn a little bit about yourself. What are you made of?
Almost rather hear the cookie story.
Change up, and it's a strike. Good pitch. 0-2 the count.
Oh, where's Doug Franz when you need him with a terrible story?
Oh, fine co-host of Doug and Wolf on Sports 620 KTAR. You didn't like that story. Now you do, I guess.
Nah. About like that Geico quote of the game. Not very big league.
That pitch is low.
Breaking out Confucius today. I like that, though. You know what? Now that I think about it more and more, not a bad idea to break out Confucius. From what I heard, probably a pretty smart guy.
Yes, very wise man. Might be a good idea for those guys in red to listen.
Our greatest glory is not in falling down, but in getting up every time we do.
Yes, sir.
Something to that effect.
Yes, sir. It's coming around, guys in the truck.
I'd rather just not fall down at all.
Well, I understand. So would they, I would imagine.
Scrape your knees, maybe bump an elbow. That was Captain third. All right, let's revisit the great wise Confucius. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in getting up every time we do. Yeah, the more I read that, the more I'd rather look at something else. There we go. There's AJ.
So you're back off the bandwagon.
Now, just don't really see how that has anything to do with baseball. But Confucius was a pretty smart guy.
So you're back on. You like it?
All right, once and for all, I'll have to make a choice. I'm going to have to say I like it. Get up. Gas.
96 miles an hour from the right-hander out of Tenares in the Dominican Republic. The 1-1. That one runs in, 2-1 the count. When you fall down and you take a spill.
Oh, hey!
And Chuck got right back up. Look at that. With pride.
Boy.
There's some glory in that, Mark Grace.
Well, like I said, I'm sure Chuck would feel a lot more glorious had he not fallen on his fanny in the first place.
Over there in right field, by the way, Mickey Bryant. There's Chuck. And Mickey over in right field.
Chuck's got a little grass stain right there, but that's okay.
You bet it's okay.
Means he played.
But that seat.
Got to come home with a dirty uniform. It's big league.
2-2 the count. Incredible place to watch a game from.
Yes. Struck him out.
Bears back and blows him away with the fastball.
Center fielder Cody Ross.
ERA on June 1st for Esmerling Vasquez was 5.79 in 15 appearances. Since then, in his last 12 appearances, his ERA is 2.45. There's no doubt, and there's never been any doubt, Gracie, that his stuff plays at this level. The fastball, the slider, and the changeup, but he's kind of doing on-the-job training.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting confident in that stuff and getting over the mental hump of facing major league hitters every single time you go out there. And you're going to take some lumps. When you face major leaguers and Justin kicks it, and that's going to get Cody Ross to second base. Not the tidiest of games by the Diamondbacks. Fastball fought off, and Justin can't find the handle, and that'll go as gotta go as an error, doesn't it? They just gave that a straight double.
Yes, they did.
I'll tell you what. If I'm these Diamondback defenders, I'm taking the official score out to dinner tonight. Maybe that shoeless steakhouse opening up over there at Gila River Casino.
It'll be great.
I mean, and they better get him buy him a lot of food.
Lobster, steak,
lobster, appetizer of any choice. Maybe some hot apple pie. Maybe an after dinner toddy, like a good port.
Ooh.
Maybe a 30-year tawny. Because this, I mean, what is going on?
I wish I could help you, my friend.
Are you all in with the scoring that we're seeing today?
No, there was the play earlier when it was off the glove. It was to the right side. Chad Tracy dropped the ball, took a step to his right, and then recovered, then flipped to Doug, who stepped off the bag, and that was ruled a hit. Chad will tell you, I should have made the play. We're not pick on Chad or pick on Justin.
No, it's just got to be honest with yourself in these things as well. Accountability. Isn't that what we all want?
Yes, you bet. And Confucius. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Folks standing up and stretching it out here at Chase Field down below. Waving goodbye for a couple of days, and then a few more days. We look forward to getting back home to seeing all of you, but this will wrap up the first half here at Chase Field. Take a look at our Nova Home Loans in-game box score. You can see the Diamondbacks that have done their thing in this ballgame and those that have scuffled. Here's the bottom line. They have had some forgettable moments defensively, these Diamondbacks, but offensively, you just can't take anything away from Josh Johnson.
He's been terrific. Absolutely. He's an all-star. He's got an ERA in the low 2s. This guy's good. Very good. Throws very hard. Throwing lots of strikes and really hasn't really been threatened all day.
No. And the Marlins knew what that was like when they ran into Dan Herron. You have to do everything you can when you have your few opportunities. Your starting pitcher has to come close to matching him, and you have to make all the plays defensively. That just hasn't happened today, unfortunately.
You know, the Diamondbacks got behind, really gave up 3 runs in the top of the first inning, and what really should have been a no-run inning. A botched rundown ended up costing the Diamondbacks 3 runs, and really Josh Johnson has made that stand up and then some.
One and 2 the count. Yeah, what followed after that botched pickoff, that rundown that you were talking about, a couple of hits, a walk, 3 runs, and 16 more pitches. High fly ball, easy chance. So the Marlins, they scored 6 runs in this ball game. Now, anytime 6 runs or more are scored, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with a purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. And the Florida Marlins have scored 6 runs.
Yeah, that means we can go get us some tacos. I want to be the first to thank the Marlins and congratulate them on getting 6 runs. So the taco giveaway is that one banged right back up the box by Chad Tracy. 2 more hits for him.
I just noticed, Gracie, something very important about that great giveaway if you want to help with the graphic.
Okay, let's see if we can get the graphic up.
Merlin Vasquez, number 11.
See the D-backs.
Oh, I got you. Doggone it. Well, still got 8 more outs to try and get 6 runs. Man, I was really looking forward to some tacos.
That would have been great on the way to the river. Get a couple of bags full.
Oh, all we'd have to do is buy a large drink.
As soon as we were done, though, make sure you stash it and bag it. Your trash.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Probably meet a lot of nice people up there. So all you folks heading up there, make sure, bring your signs. Darren and I will be glad to sign them. Maybe take a photograph or 2 with you. And then we're headed downstream, Darren. The only thing I hope is, I'm really hoping like that they don't, up there like Lake Roosevelt, that they don't open up that reservoir and let too many millions of gallons of water come roaring downstream while we're floating on the Salt River. That might be a little too much. Whoa, hey!
I know.
Might get a little rough.
A little topper up to make the play as Jefferson at 6'7". You knew he would give it an opportunity. Don't forget, by the way, when you park your car, gotta have that car shade. And there's one coming up in this heat. July 24th is a game on a Friday. The first 25,000 fans receive the car shade. It's courtesy of Sports 620 KTAR. Stick around for post-game fireworks, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Get tickets today by calling 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com.
Need one this time of year.
It protects the steering wheel, the leather there. Make sure that your dash doesn't get too hot,
so you don't fry when you get in your car. Whoa!
One and one the count.
Josh Johnson just pretty much in complete command. He scattered 7 hits, so there's been some base runners. But no Diamondback has reached third base yet. Not one, Darren.
He's had a fabulous year. Now he's shaking off something that he's battled. It's not poor numbers, but his ERA on the road 3.91. A lot of guys would take that, but at home it's 1.98. The one thing he's never done is struggle against the Diamondbacks. They beat him, but John Garland pitched a whale of a game on the 19th day of May, and before last night that was the last win for John. He went 6 1/3 and gave up just 2 earned runs in that loss.
Lost.
Talk about threatening and having an opportunity too. At 113 pitches, you find yourself, when you see Freddie, hoping to say anybody but Josh Johnson.
Well, Stephen Drew's probably going to get a left-hander, but a nice job by the all-star Josh Johnson, and he'll step aside, and we will not see a left-hander but a right-hander instead in Sanchez.
The all-star pitches like one.
I gave a letter to the post.
He'll have only 1 day of rest. May have a little bit in his arm for the All-Star game. All these Marlins care about, quite honestly, is Josh maybe getting a chance to pitch in October. Gracie, he was fabulous.
Once again, Josh Johnson, a guy that every time he takes the mound, the Florida Marlins have a very good chance of winning. 0 runs. He's responsible for the 2 Diamondbacks that are on first and second right now. But once again, Josh Johnson just brilliant against the Diamondbacks.
Brian Sanchez goes to work for the 21st time this year. Gonna knock one out of here.
Drive it in the gap.
Make a ball game of it. You now have a different pitcher other than Josh Johnson. So the numbers are very good.
Very
Steven
good.
with a couple of singles he managed to handle. The big fella out of Minnesota. This gentleman out of Beaumont, Texas. Went to Lamar.
Lamar University, good baseball program. That was banged into left field.
Well, the Skunks out of the box. The shutout is over, and for the Diamondbacks, maybe a step in the right direction. Well, Stephen Drew with a 3-hit day.
Not just like that, the Diamondbacks on the board. Fastball stays up. Stephen does a great job of driving it through the left side. Augie Ojeda scores easily. And as my partner so eloquently said, the Skunks out of the box. Well, Justin Upton a chance to make this thing interesting. Gas, Mike Bryan.
Sanchez pitched in Philadelphia on a couple of occasions in 06 and 07, then in Washington last year. This is far and away his finest hour, though, as Justin fouls that one off. You're talking about an ERA coming in 5.9, then 5.5, and 7.4.
Yikes.
This year, not so much. Dominating. He's given up 3 earned runs in 21 1/3 innings.
Justin a chance to get his Diamondbacks a little closer. 0-2 pitches in the dirt.
Steps out, tired of waiting. Those youngsters. This youngster takes a pitch that is low. Diamondback youngsters, Layson Septimo, Jared Parker. Here in a little bit, getting a chance to play ball in the Futures game in St. Louis. About to put the rain behind them.
Now, what's the criteria to making the Futures game? Do you know? Just got to be a good minor leaguer?
Good minor leaguer. A lot of guys are Double-A and below.
Okay.
Just a couple of years of experience, and that would strike 3 to Justin Upton. The gentleman thought that pitch was low. So did Mr. Upton. TV sending back some video for us. This is Jared Parker. Game just about to get underway, and he will pitch in the game. Layson Septimo, representing the Diamondbacks as well in the World Team. Our free CreditReport.com. Know your score, out of town scoreboard. There you go. It's just underway. Some of the numbers there, 2-0. Orlando Hudson, a couple of homers at Miller Park. And Josh Beckett, career win number 100.
Futures game. So what like the New York Stock Exchange, like the Dow futures? Is that what we're talking about?
No, they're not sponsored by at all the New York Stock Exchange or anything about investments. Though all of those guys, I would imagine, have had large investments made in their futures.
Sure. Okay, it's nothing to do with that.
No.
When in the future is it going to be played?
It's actually going on right now. That video you saw was from the past earlier today. I mean, that was just hours ago that video was shot, sent back.
So it's more present. It's the present game instead of the futures game. I see. I'm starting to get it now. It's just a kind of a play on words. It's not really in the future.
It depends. I mean, the play on words and all that goes on, you just never know. I mean, it's like that Futures Field, home of future Diamondbacks. Brett Carroll against Clay Zavala. Rockets that one in the left center field. And that one back in. So Carroll with the double.
I'll tell you what, if he keeps hitting like that, he's going to play in the futures game.
Now his time's already came and went. Unfortunately.
Number 13, Andy Gonzalez.
Here's Andy Gonzalez. Guys like, Jared Parker. You know, we saw
Jared
the
Parker
jersey.
of the Diamondbacks, yeah.
Good friend. Inside folks here in the house. DBTV. They provide all the great programming on the scoreboard here and online. D-backs Dugout. Check that show out. Well, they're going behind the scenes. They'll be there waiting and checking it out when Justin gets there, and Dan Herron have exclusive access with those guys. That's the All-Star game. That's played Tuesday, which is in the future.
Yes, see, that's what I was asking. Like, when in the future can we look forward to watching that game? I'll figure it out here eventually. It's a little confusing.
Well, you won't. 0-1 the count.
Well, just trying to. So we didn't have all that when I was playing.
Gonzalez, 0-2 the count.
Gonzalez trying to bunt his way aboard, drive it in the gap.
I tell you, pal, you said it.
Sit around over there on the bench all day, and name gets called. Guy in scoring position, nobody out. Let's try to drop a bunt. Yes, he gets what he deserves. A strikeout. Clay Zavala just blew his doors off.
You love a guy like Clay Zavala.
Third baseman.
There you go.
All right, now we're talking. That girl, honey, and she's got a fresh one in her right hand as well.
Now, she wanted Doug to be your own bullpen. That's actually what that meant. Go, Doug Davis, be your own bullpen. And no rally hats, and unfortunately, she has had to go against her sign.
I guess I'm struggling with a lot of things today, evidently.
0-1 the count to Emilio Bonifacio.
Well, Darren, unfortunately for you, I've taken the All-Star break a day early.
We're going to get you back on track, my friend. We all have our eyes on you.
That's okay. I'm excited for 4 days off. Excited to get up to the Salt River.
That one runs in. Guys in the truck right now are getting together, and they think they have the remedy to Get you ready for the second half.
Oh, I'll be ready for the second half. I'm not worried about that.
Well, they have something to help you through the break as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. The 1-2. Bouncing ball. Reynolds can't make the play.
This is going to score a run.
The throw to the plate, and it does. 7-1, so you get one back. You're not having to deal with Josh Johnson. And then one comes right back the other way. A rocket to Reynolds.
Darren, this has scored a hit.
Left fielder Jeremy Hermida.
So 11 of them today.
Once again, I'm a big Mark Reynolds fan, both as a player and a person. That's got to be an error, isn't it?
It was hard hit. That one, I think, if any of them were closer to the fence than the other two, it's that one. Now they've changed it. That is an error. And yet I thought that was the least obvious of all of them. But yes, a play he'll tell you he has to make.
Yeah, I think that was probably just as easy a call as the other two.
The one to me that stood out was Chad's play earlier.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to just, like I said, accountability. No, I'll tell you, yeah, they were errors. Struck him out.
Mark Grace, I know you're a little frustrated trying to dial it back in. Your key to the All-Star break, my friend. This is for you, just to get you in the right place. A couple of years ago,
what do we got here?
Fenway Park, during your break. Mark, don't hit him with the pizza.
Bang!
Just to get you back on track. Here's Hanley Ramirez. That one is into shallow center. That one is dumped in there. It's a base hit. It's an RBI. So he takes another slice out of the pie, does Hanley Ramirez. And he comes around to score. I know that extra run scoring, certainly not a moment of laughter, but we thought that for you, that we wrapped that up with a bow. And it's our gift to you.
And the funny thing about that video is the Zavada mustaches are still being worn. Is that? I would just love to find out from somebody just what happened prior to that. Because I thought when I first saw it, maybe that guy was throwing it at Garrett Anderson, the left fielder for the Angels at the time. Oh no, he hit his spot. He hit that feller right square in the side of the face, or right in the shoulder area, it looked to me. And that was.
I mean, you're buying a piece of pizza at Fenway Park as well. I mean, you're taking out a loan to buy a piece of pizza.
It's like $7 for a hunk of pizza there, isn't it?
I mean, that seat, I think, is $1,300. The pizza, who knows how much. He was that angry. Fly ball right field.
Oh, man. Glad this ain't finally ended. Having a tough day.
But for you, Mark Grace, there will be brightness around the storm. Have a very happy break, but don't hit anyone with a slice of pizza. that sound. That was a good sound for the Florida Marlins. We were up close and personal. Right field camera location and a bomb. Mark Reynolds to lead it off. Enjoyed communicating with all of you today, and we've enjoyed it in the first half. I want to thank all of you fans for all of your loyalty coming here to the ballpark, traveling out on the road, watching on television if you can't make it down, in your car, listening on the radio. It's been, I know, a tough half for a lot of you diehard fans, but boy, your enthusiasm hasn't waned a bit, and we certainly appreciate it up here. That kind of enthusiasm.
Fellow wasn't looking at the camera. Oh, honey, not again.
That might hit the roof. Now it comes down. The decision still being mulled over. Who will start the All-Star game? Well, maybe the guy who's first in ERA, first in walks and hits per innings pitched, first in innings pitched. Maybe the guy who has a better ability to handle walks and strikeouts than anyone in the National League. Maybe that guy could get the opportunity. We'll see. Tim Lincecum having a great year as well. But Dan had the chance to make the final say. And
he made a pretty good statement, didn't he?
Similar to a debate, he had his last chance. The floor was his, and you couldn't have made a better one. I mean, you really couldn't have.
So if you're Tim Lincecum, and both guys they would be on turn. Okay, so there's no reason, like, for instance, Dan Herron, oh no, he pitched, like, for instance, Josh Johnson might not be able to pitch in the All-Star game, even though he's going, because he threw 6 1/3 here this afternoon.
Stayed with it. Did Cantu, and over there to cover, it was an out.
He stayed with it very well. Nice play by Meyer, getting over there, not taking anything for granted. Just takes his eye off the ball here, does Cantu, and whoa, hey, ends up making a nice play. It's a good job by Meyer, not giving up on the play, getting over there and becoming a first baseman, becoming an athlete, and making the play. But talking about, so if you're Tim Lincecum or if you're the Giants, or you're a Giants fan, convince me that Tim Lincecum should start.
Well, he's the reigning Cy Young Award winner.
Okay, but that's last year.
Understandably so. But he immediately gets a jump ahead. Dan Herron has to do something extra special. He has to be a step beyond. If they're similar number-wise.
Which they are. But Dan's a little bit better in everything but strikeouts and wins.
Agreed. But if they're similar numbers-wise, then I think that Lincecum gets the leg up. If I'm a Giants fan, I'm telling you that.
That's fair.
And I'm saying he has to be that much better than my guy because my guy won the Cy Young Award last year.
It's almost like a prize fight, a championship heavyweight fight. You have to knock out the champ, right?
Right.
Unless it's just a very one-sided decision, that decision is not going to go to the challenger. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And if I'm a Giants fan, that is my perspective. Is a third of a run worthy an earned run average? Is that much better?
There's your starter right there. Dan Herron going to start the All-Star game, folks.
insights to personalities of this game and this team. And this very, very memorable show today. It was a year or 10 years ago yesterday, the $1 million Grand Slam. And Todd, a part of reuniting the winning family with Jay Bell. So just keep it right here. Looking forward to watching that myself. Knew it was coming up and threw the DVR on, and that'll be a lot of fun. John Roush goes to work.
Leading off for Florida, second baseman Dan Ugla.
Great baseball fans down in Tucson, one and all. One of them, Gracie, Vivian Feinberg. She and her friends watch together a lot. And we appreciate Vivian for her support. See you after the break as well. Good, passionate fan, Diamondbacks fan. Oh, we've heard from Tucson. We've heard from Phoenix. We've heard from Scotland, Nova Scotia.
Scotland.
0-1 the count. That one misses away. Roush over his last 20 games, a 1.80 ERA.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Speaking of Scotland, I want to publicly thank our fine director, Mitch Riggins, as that was pumped back lined out to Stephen Drew makes the play. I want to thank our director, Mitch Riggins. He brought me a nice gift from Scotland.
He did?
Yes, he did. When he was over there, he brought me a nice gift, and I want to thank him publicly for that. That was very nice of him.
All right, well done. It's great to hear what that gift was.
It's from Scotland.
Okay.
And
all right.
And the initials are Johnny Walker.
Trying to think what that stands for. So.
But that was nice of him.
Very nice.
And I want to thank him publicly for that.
Publicly thank him for giving me nothing. It was really nice. That pitch is away. 2-0 the count. Then again, I don't pay for anything on the road either. So I'm still kind of waiting for my gift from you. Yeah, no.
And Andy. And Gregson.
All members of the broadcast team. We like to identify, as we've been told by Mulkey.
Andy
She
Bob.
says it's very important.
Gregson Frampton.
Hard ground ball. It's a foul ball. Speaking of Tucson, we got a note from a fan who sent it up. Colleen Concannon from Tucson was on her way to the Diamondbacks day today, and she got a flat tire on I-10. It was about 110 when it happened.
Oh, no.
She wants to send a huge thank you out to a DPS trooper. It looks like Ricomini, R-I-C-O-M-I-N-I. DPS trooper for stopping and helping her out. And I quote, she says, quite a sight of a trooper in a starched, clean uniform changing my tire. 110 degrees. I want to thank him for getting me to the ball game.
Bless his heart and bless her heart. Big John Roush just continuing to shine here in the last couple of months.
So, Colleen, thanks for sending that note up. And members of law enforcement all around this great state, we appreciate
everything you do.
All that you do, your support, your safety, and even like Trooper Ricomini stopping and changing the tire. Bouncing ball, Stephen Drew sets fire in time for the out. John Roush, a very solid end to his first half.
unbelievable players, and just being in the same clubhouse, even during the workout, seeing how they go about their business, and obviously I'm going to talk to most of the guys, and I'm looking forward to having time to bond with all of them.
Moments away. This club doesn't put together a large, miraculous rally. From showering up and going to St. Louis. All right, here we go. 8-1 the score.
Now, right now, the Diamondbacks 3 outs away from the All-Star break, and let's see if they're taking pitches or if they're swinging here, Darren Sutton.
Leo Nunez, he'll go to work. First pitch, he is taking. It's a strike. 4 o'clock here in the great state of Arizona. St. Louis, 6 o'clock. And he takes. That one is away. 1-1 the count. This game about 2 hours and 50 minutes old. Shot, look out in the dugout suite. Everyone's all right. Gotta take a moment to go get that baseball and get it back in. 1-1 the count. Taking a pitch away. 2-2 the count. Good at bat for Chris Young, a patient at bat.
Nunez taking his time.
Chris 0 for 3. And that'll do it for Chris. He goes down on strikes.
And for Chris, let's hope he has a much better second half. It was a rough go for Chris Young in the first half. He's going to finish the first half hitting 196. And we all know that, bottom line, he is just a much better player than that. So let's hope he gets 4 days of rest, finds that swing, and has a big second half.
Oh, 1 the count. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Marlins. A run on 8 hits and an error for the Diamondbacks. High fly ball over and to his right. Here's the center fielder, Cody Ross. He'll hurry it back in, and there are 2 away. Here's Alex Romero.
Marlins with a long flight back home after this one's over. Probably fly over the Gulf of Mexico.
That's true, won't they? A lot of guys will go their separate ways, though. Free to go. Just make sure you're back for the workout if you're Florida, or back for the flight if you're a Diamondback. It is, after all, vacation. Swings at the first pitch, does Romero. Oh, 1 the count. Bouncing ball, base hit right field. So this game's not over yet.
Alex Romero not ready to take the break yet. Nice piece of hitting. Got himself a changeup and banged it into right field. That's going to give Felipe Lopez an opportunity.
Felipe, a three times reaching day with a couple of hits. He also had a walk, hitting .302 heading into the break.
Had himself a very good first half. Taken all the way for ball 1.
You bet. 1-0 the count.
Missed again, ball 2.
He is on his way as well to the All-Star game, taking all the way. 2-1. Three and 1 to count. Three and 1 runner at first. Outside, ball 4. So this game not over yet. Get together on the mound, have a brief conversation.
Stephen Drew going to get a chance to hopefully quiet down the ones booing him here and get him a big base hit. He's had a 3-hit day.
Well, as time is called, Ronnie Polino calls time, is going to head out. This will give me a chance to remind you, Gracie, that they're saying Drew, Stephen Drew. They're not booing him.
Well, I was worried about that for a little bit.
Also, get signed up on Twitter, D-backs booth. Gracie and I will update you from the Salt River. We have some big surprises in the second half. We may be popping up at some locations around the ballpark, only for those that are signed up.
We promise to make it a good time wherever you see us.
Steven to right field. Over to make the play is Carroll, and he puts it away. Well, the Diamondbacks come up short today. Josh Johnson, incredible. Best of luck to Dan Herron. Best of luck to Justin Upton, as they will go and enjoy an opportunity that is a coveted opportunity.